Branding your property business. So today we're going to talk about branding your property business and why this is massively important for you when building a business in property. Hello, my name's Mark Fitzgerald and welcome to the Property Unleashed YouTube channel. It's great to have you joining me here today. So why is branding your property business so important and something that probably is really overlooked by everybody? We all think of branding as names, logos, and everything like that. And it is. So how important is it to get this right from the word go? Well, in my opinion, it's not that important. We need to have a brand, okay? We need to have a name that we're associated by. We need to have a logo for me. We need to have some sort of crest emblem. It can be as simple as you like. It can be as complicated as you like. But we need to have something just that people can recognize. And we also need to be able to have that shown in all of our marketing materials, in our emails and everything. So first and foremost, you've got to think of a company name, a business name. Now, it can be as complicated as you like, or it can be as simple as you like. My business name and my company name is MRF, which is just my initials. It's as simple as that, but it's Property Solutions. MRF, Property Solutions Limited. Now, that keeps it simple, but it also keeps it associated with property. And that's one of the things I will say is no point in having a name that really doesn't associate you with the industry that you're involved in. So make sure it has something that, even if MRF doesn't mean anything to anybody apart from me. So if it was MRF Limited, you wouldn't know what it did, you wouldn't know what it was all about. That's why I put the Property Solutions in there, just to make it stupid simple. Now, you can get creative as you like with all of this, but make sure your industry is seen in your name so that it's very easy to look at and say, oh, they're into property, they've got potential solutions or anything like that. So make sure, I see a lot of names that don't mean a thing, like Key Living is a great one because it's keys in a door and stuff like that. But I do see some saying like Bespoken Limited, and it's like Bespoken Properties Limited would work a lot better, or something along those lines. So you can get creative as you like, but try and keep it specific to the industry. Likewise to that, try and make sure that you can get the name on company house. So if you are thinking of names for a new business, make sure you're checking on company house that you can have that name, that somebody else hasn't already got that name. And if they have, you might just need to tweak it slightly. And the next thing that is really important, particularly in this day and age with social media and websites and everything, and you want to have a landing page at the end of the day, you need to make sure you can have the domain name. Now, it's no good looking at a domain name thinking, oh, I can only have .org or .net or something like that. You want to have .com if you can. You want to have .co.uk. Preferably, you want to have both. Just buy both if you can. But check you can have the domain name. Also check that it's not going to cost an absolute fortune. If you've picked a specific name that may be popular in the industries, you can pay up to a good few £1,000s and upwards for the domain name if somebody's already got it and already bought it and then they're looking to sell it. So it's quite important when starting out. You don't want to be spending lots of money on things like that. Make sure you can have the domain name. Make sure company house, you can register your company and nobody else has got that name as well. And if there's other companies out there that are quite close to it, then just see whether or not it's a good suit for you. Another thing that I'd like to do and that I recommend to my students to do as well is to just Google it. Google the name that you think and see what results come up. Because sometimes if you're speaking to vendors, landlords, agents, they might Google the name of your business. And if your name of your business comes back with some random, bizarre, crazy stuff on Google, you need to be a little bit careful because you're not always going to be at the top of any Google listing. They might just not pronounce your name properly or not put in the full title of the name. They might just put in the beginning parts or something like that. So just be careful that it's not taking people to the wrong sites in the wrong environment and putting off the wrong sort of presence, okay? It's always just worth checking these things. And you don't know what you don't know. So that's why I just thought I would help you with this video. And likewise, with your name, If you're in a certain area, you can associate your name with that area. If you're just looking to do business in the area, you can associate it with something positive, a positive word rather than a negative word. So something that's inviting for people, something that might be uplifting for people as well. So just make sure that you are on the right track with those things. So the next thing to really be looking at with your branding is a logo. So you can make a logo yourself on websites like Canva and things like that. But you can also, just for the price of maybe £10, £20, go on a Fiverr and get somebody to design that logo for you so it looks professional, looks the part, and it doesn't have to cost you, the world to get it done. But I would say you need to have a decent looking logo. You want people to associate you with that logo. So as you're sending out marketing, as you're talking to people, as you're giving out business cards and things, people get to see that logo, get to know, like, and trust it as well. And of course, if your name is in your email, so like mrfpropertysolutions.co.uk is my email address. And if you've got it in your email address, you've got your logo. When people go on your landing page, they see the name, they see the logo, the brand starts to be able to be built. Do you need all of this if you're just looking at buying a couple of properties in property, just a couple of buy-to-lets? I would say if you're looking at having a business or buying property in a limited company, then yes, I would just take a bit of time here. It doesn't take the end of the world. You could probably do all of this in an hour if you really, really wanted to. If you don't overthink it and you just build up something there. You can take longer depending on what you're doing. If you're doing stuff like rent to rent, you do want to have a proper business. You want to look a bit like a letting agency would, just so that people feel more grounded, more trusted with what they're looking at. But if you're just going to do and buy a couple of properties in your own name, then branding may not be the thing for you. But most people now are looking to build portfolios. They're looking to do it through limited companies. So I would actually have a name of the company and I would have the branding for that as well. And just make your